Hang on, let me make sure that my mic is set up correctly. Because I might have changed it. Oh, yep. It's the wrong mic. Okay. Alright. Now... I think we're good. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Today is Friday, May 9th, 2025. Today is going to be the start of the new Jake Trades It. The trader who gets up consistently at the same exact time every day and watches price. We're not going to try and predict. We're not going to sit here and say, okay, here's what we want to happen. We're just going to come on the charts, and from 9:15 to 11 o'clock Eastern, we are going to be sitting here and watching the 1, 2, 3, and 5 minute charts and 30-second. We're just going to sit here and watch them and wait for our high probability inverse fair value gaps from 9:15 to 11. We are not going to be going on tangents. We're not going to be going through gold and to look at for what new week opening gap is reacting where and all this stuff. No, this is going to be the start of something new where we're going to just get on the charts. I'm going to be extremely consistent. I'm going to start on the live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern every day, and I'm going to try and end it when I'm done with the trade, or if I don't take a trade, 11 o'clock Eastern. So, and my main rule with the trades is the $200 drawdown. That's my golden rule. So essentially just one loss, I'm done for the day. Now, something that I'm changing as of right now is, as far as the loss goes, that's a no more trading, no exceptions type of policy. Like, if I take a loss, my mindset's gonna be messed up. I can't keep trading, right? So that's just the way I see it. Now, maybe other people see it differently. I don't like trading after a loss. So I'm gonna be done if I take a loss, I'm done. Break even, I can go again. And when ideally I'm gonna be done, like 80% of the time, 70% of the time. But if I see something A++, we'll keep watching. If we see something A++, we could take another one if we win. So that's kind of the way I'm going about it from now on. But and then from the first 15 minutes, from 9 a.m. to 9:15, that's going to be essentially for all that stuff that we do want to cover. Like, if we want to cover high time frame analysis, if we want to cover other things, from 9 o'clock to 9:15, that's when it's going to be okay to go look at stuff. That's when it's okay to go look at the higher time frame and look at random stuff and key levels and all this stuff. But from the 9:15 to 11, we just got to be watching price. We can't go be distracted. We just have to sit here. We have to watch price, and there's nothing else we can do. We have to sit here and watch price, because that is going to be the way to take good trades. You can't take a good trade if you don't see it. If you're off looking at something on gold, you're not going to end up seeing the inversion, right? So right at 9:15, we are locking in and we are looking at the charts, lower time frame, and yeah, just sitting here waiting for high probability setups. So I got the S&P and YM in the middle here, so I can always look for S&Ts, and yeah. So sorry, that is just a quick rant, but I had to get that across. We are a different trader now that we're coming back. We're going to be watching price. We're not going to be doing anything other than watching. And if there is something that is A+ that we know is a good trade, then we'll take it and we'll assume the right risk on the trade, and we'll take the trade. So now this is kind of cool. So I'm going to go on my Tradovate demo account. I have another Tradovate account for demo. and I took this paper trade. I alerted it in the Discord, right? So this is crazy. This trade was a 4.5 to 1. Check this out. We are up $8,000, risking $4,000 per trade on demo. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. On a $50,000 account. So I'm risking $4,000 per trade on this account, on this $50,000 account, on this demo account. Cause I'm treating it like I would treat if I was to have my own $50,000 account. What I would do, right? Because if I had my own $50,000 account, I would treat it like I was my own prop firm, where on my prop firm accounts, right, you have 2,500 trailing drawdown. So I risk 200 per trade when there's 2,500 trailing drawdown. So long story short, essentially it's like as if those accounts have $2,500 in them. You can't go below 2,500, right? So if I'm risking 200 per trade, so if I'm going to simulate that, I need to have $50,000 and then risk 4,000 per trade. So that's the logic there. But anyway, we are headed up to possibly this data high. That's what I'm seeing as the draw on liquidity. We have 10 minutes, so we still have time. We can go over higher time frame analysis real quick, very briefly, so we can go ahead and do that. But I also wanted to show that there was another paper trade that I also took. Right afterwards, I took this, where we had this inversion right here on the 2 minute, and this was really nice. We had an old fair value gap get created here, and then boom, closed through it. Entry, now it's paper trade. I messed up the entry a little bit, but entry should have been here, and then yeah, boom, data high. And that's what I mean when I say we need to be watching the charts and ready, because if we miss our entry by even a few seconds, this is what can happen, right? You don't get the right entry, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Like, it adds up. So anyway, we're gonna close that. I'm gonna log into my Tradevate, my real accounts, real quick on my other screen, and then we will be ready to be a sniper here. So alright. But yeah, anyway, back to just looking at the lower. Real quick, since we have 9 minutes left, I will go over my higher time frame idea, possible idea, right? First, I want to start off by talking about like the extremely high time frame, because I've never really talked about this yet on stream. So right now, if you go to the 3-month chart, this is a higher time frame breaker right here. This highest up close candle. So mark that out. Boom. 3-month breaker. I consider this a key level, and that's, in my opinion, that's why we didn't come down to this fair value gap here on the 3-month, because we had this breaker here instead. So there's that 3-month breaker, and then I swear this is just gonna be really short, and then we'll get to watching the charts. And then we get this really clean weekly CISD here. This is, I mean, about as clean as it gets, right? Like, I don't know how you get more clean than this. And so what I'm seeing is I'm seeing this as accumulation. This is manipulation. And then possibly distribution. That's personally what I'm seeing. Now, you guys need to decide for yourselves what you guys think. This is part of trading. You're going to be right. You're going to be wrong. You got to make your own decisions, and you can't just take someone else's word for it. You got to decide for yourself what works for you. So go ahead and do your own analysis. That's kind of the higher time frame idea. So then what we can do is we can, well, within this, we have this weekly breaker is its own key level, right? So I'm going to mark out this weekly breaker. And what we can do is we can drop down even lower to the 4 hour. And you can see here, same thing, right? We get a sweep of these lows. And what happens after, right? We get a 4 hour change in state of delivery. You can mark it out with either of these. Probably mark it out like this, because this is the one that was reacted off of. So there's your 4 hour change in state of delivery. And then weekly breaker. So measuring this out, standard deviations, I'm seeing us drawing up into here, which makes sense because also I believe we have a previous week's high from over here. So this is kind of where I'm seeing us drawing towards, this previous week's high, reacting off the 4 hour CISD. Now let's see what happens here today. So yeah, that's basically summed up my higher time frame view. We're gonna drop down back to the lower time frame, and yeah, just wait for our setup. All right, we are also logged into our accounts, so that's good. Okay. Minimizing this. I don't need this open right now. Okay, so dropping down lower time frame chart. Once again, we don't control the outcome. All we control is the setup. So let's take, if we want to take a trade, let's have it be high probability. Let's not take something that's half. I mean, yeah, let's not do this halfway. Let's do a good. If there's a trade, let's make sure it's a good setup. And if it's not a good setup, let's not take it. Right? Me take it. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, I see us possibly drawing towards this data high. In about 4 minutes, I will allow myself to take a trade if we see any, starting from 4 minutes from now until 11 a.m. Eastern. So this is about a hour, 45-minute window where we could be taking a trade. S&P does have equal lows, but I feel like over time, I just feel like just because there's equal lows doesn't mean we have to go back there right away. I'm honestly bullish, so that's just what I'm thinking right now. So since we have 3 more minutes, we can measure this out here. Alright, let's sit here and wait and just watch. That's all we can do. That's the difference between me from before and me now, is I'm going to be sitting here. I'm going to be watching price. I'm not going to be trying to predict. I'm not going to be marking out everything. Honestly, I might not even take flow states anymore for now. If I see a flow state, I'll probably just take it on demo, just because like we gotta lock in and be like, we got to be profitable, right? So, no, nothing wrong with flow state. I love flow state, but I think I do need to get a little better at it. I think I'm a little better with inversions, so we're going to just do inversions for now. And yeah. So, yep, we're just watching price. I do see us drawing towards this data high, so we'll mark this out. Okay, so we got that data high, and then That's kind of what I'm seeing as the drawn liquidity. We had this really nice IFG here. And then we swept out this low here. So once again, I took this on paper, but I'm only taking trades in between my window from 9:15 to 11 starting today. That's a new thing I'm doing starting today, only taking trades in between that window. So yeah. There's no fair value gaps, so I'm not seeing anything. I'd maybe like to see us drop down. If we came down into this and got an inversion back up, we could possibly take that. But once again, we're going to be very thoughtful, only wait for our setup to come to us. And yeah, just sit here and wait. And it's kind of annoying because, like, part of when I was... The nice thing about doing whatever I wanted to and not just sitting here and watching price is you get unlimited stuff to talk about, because you could go, oh, we could go look at this 4-hour for value gap over here and this, 15-minute for value gap over here. But now it's different. Now there's not much to do other than just sit here. And so I can't like, there's not as much to talk about. I'm just gonna have to sit here and just be like, yeah, we're just watching. There's nothing. It's not gonna be interesting anymore, and that's the annoying thing. There's nothing I can do about that. We're just going to be watching price. These are not gonna be interesting anymore, and it sucks. But we just gotta watch price. There's nothing else we can do. Like I almost want to even go back over here and be like, look at all these setups over here. But no, we just have to sit here and watch, because the worst thing you can do is miss a setup because you weren't paying attention. So. Alright, we are getting a move a little lower here. So there's definitely a possible trade, but like I said, I'm going to be very picky. Especially with this still being pre-market, I'm going to be very, very picky. I don't want to just rush into anything, right? Right now, price action's not super hot, so I'm not a huge fan of taking a trade yet, right? You want to wait for price action to get clean. But yeah, this is the boring part about trading, and there's nothing I can do about that. So we also had this inversion right here. That was nice. You can see we inversed it and then went right up to this high, and then we went up to these bodies here. So you could definitely take this as a trade up to there. So yeah, I'm not interested in taking this because price action isn't that great. 2, this isn't good signature. Why we wick like that? 3, there's a volume imbalance here. So yeah, that's I would not take this like ever. So now we did close above this volume imbalance, but like I said, I'm not taking this still. Like this is, I would never even consider. This is still pre-market. This is low probability price action right now. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's even tuned into the stream yet, but if anyone has, what's up? Hopefully you're doing good. Like I said earlier, there's not much these streams are going to be probably a lot less interesting because all we're going to be doing is sitting here and watching price action. And I'm not going to be going off on tangents. I can't. I have to sit here and wait for high probability setups. Otherwise, I'm going to miss trades. So it's possible we need to come. Let's see. We'll just watch. We're not gonna try and predict. We're just gonna watch. See, price action's still choppy. I'm not a fan. I mean, it's not necessarily choppy. It's just not clean, right? So I'm not like a super big fan yet. And you can see how clearly that failed, right? Even this, though, I would not take this because price action is still choppy. It's not LIPO. This isn't LIPO. You don't... I mean, yeah, I just wouldn't take it. It's just not LIPO price action. I mean, it's also pre-market still. So, you have to understand that. Like, you're trying to take something high probability that you know is going to work. See, look at this. Looks like it's going to fail again, right? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, this is going to be boring. I'm going to get my phone and see if anyone said anything in chat, or if anyone's even watched or joined the stream. Yeah, let's go over to YouTube and see if anyone's watching. I don't think anyone is, but yeah. Okay. Look at how all of these just instantly fail. Just don't trade this price action. It's not high probability. We're obviously still accumulating too. So, we did leave equal highs here. Now, I mean, we're still watching it, so we could look at stuff like near the opening gaps, but yeah, it doesn't look like there's much. Okay. Session highs and lows. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a different screen and I will look around for key levels because there's nothing else to do right now. And it's obvious that we're not going to get a trade in the next however long. So So we did sweep this high for value up here. SMT with YM with this low. Alright, so we could get an inversion to the downside. I'm not going to take it because I'm bullish. I could take it on demo, but I don't feel like it. I just want to wait for something really, really good. So we do have a 15-minute gap here. It's possible we want to rebalance there because also this is possibly discount. Oops. So yeah, we're about to inverse this. So also, if we're anticipating it, right? If we're anticipating the idea of us going higher, market open is probably going to manipulate us lower, right? If we did get an inversion right on market open, though, I'm not opposed to trying it. If it has good signature to it. But market open and yeah, we did. I think we inversed this to downside. We're about to. Yeah, see this? 5 minute is about to inverse the downside. So let's watch this and see what happens if we go lower right after this or if we just chill here. My guess is we will go lower and then rebalance to this 15-minute fair value gap right here. And yeah, we got a nice 3-minute inversion. Theoretically, you could take that, but you'd be not waiting for the higher time frame inversion. So most of the time, you always want to wait for the higher time frame inversion unless you like really have conviction. It's really situational, but most of the time you need to wait for the higher time frame inversion. All right, market's gonna open in 30 seconds. So we're pushing down, about to possibly sweep this. I mean, on market open, I can't lie. If we did get an inversion to the upside on market open, that would be, yeah, that would be not bad. But I don't know. We're just gonna watch. We're not gonna try and predict. Wow. Okay, let's get ready if we want to take this. Let's see. Quantity. So 10. Okay, never mind. Like, yeah, nothing special here, honestly. So we did just run those equal highs. We might come down and sweep this low again. We still have this 15-minute fair value gap. We should look at this on MNQ so I can not get the amount of contracts wrong. Yeah, very low volume. See, I'm not trading this price action, right? But yeah, like I said, this is the start of something new. So if you just now joined, what I was saying earlier in the stream is this is a start of a new version of me where I'm going to just be sitting here and watching price. I'm not going to be out here trying to predict the model and frame every little detail. I'm just going to be sitting here. I'm going to be watching and waiting. And if we get something, then we get something. If we don't, we don't. But I see my model. I see an inverse value gap, high probability. I'm going to execute, right? But I'm going to wait till it's a high probability one. And there's nothing else more to it, right? We're not going to go around looking at every little detail of the chart. We're just going to sit here and wait. Because the issue is you'll also miss the setups sometimes. So you just got to be careful with that. Like, If I go around looking for stuff, you can miss an inversion. They happen so fast. Like, the number one priority is catching them when they do happen. So, just out of curiosity, I wonder if this will work, but it's a 10-second. I'm not going to take that. But it might work. It's got a good signature. It actually might work. But once again, I'm not taking the 10-second. I mean, also, price action is just not the greatest yet. So, but yeah, we had this 15-minute fair value gap we tapped into. Like I said, I still see us drawing up towards this data high. And yeah, we inverse this 2-minute, but we wick that high. It's just not. I'm not a fan of having us wick the high and then inverse. I swear though, if Dodgy took that, I might actually. I might actually lose it. But yeah, I mean, it's like, if this wick weren't here, and if both of these wicks weren't here, like if this wick was gone and this wick was gone and it was just this and this, I mean, this would be A+, undeniably, right? But because we got that wick and then we got this wick, it's like, just not taking that. But you can see, just imagine this wick not being here, and then imagine this wick not being here. And then if we just got a move down, sweep of this low, and then a close like this, I mean, this would be just a close like right here without either of these wicks. That would be A+. But anyway, yeah, like I said, for anyone new watching, this is a different version of me now. I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting. We're not going to be trying to predict every little move. We're not going to be framing every model. We're going to be sitting here. It's boring. It sucks, right? But do you want to be profitable? That's the question. Because if you want to be a profitable trader, what you have to do is sit, wait, and be bored. And do nothing until you get something that you know is going to work. And there's no other way around it. It sucks. But it looks like we're going to hit this data high. And so both of these paper trades are about to take profit. One of them was a 4.5 to 1. That's crazy. Let's sign into that real quick. Just to show you guys. Like, dang. We entered all the way over here when we inverse this 30-second gap. Now we're already almost at the data high. One setups for life are OP. Anyway. Like I said, we're just sitting waiting. There's nothing else we can do. There's nothing I can do to make a trade spawn in faster than it's going to. We literally just have to sit here and wait, and it sucks. I want to be like, okay, let's do this flow state trade off of this 6-minute gap. But I'm not going to do that, right? I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be bored, because guess what? When you let the trade come to you, you're going to take something better. Like yesterday, I do think the trade I took was good, but I also think it had an issue of I was framing something when I should have just been watching, I was framing a model yesterday. Yesterday was fine. It was a fine trade, but I definitely should not. I definitely should be more careful with flow states because I'm still getting better with them. I mean, I think flow state's a great model. I think it's a great way to trade, but the reality is I'm honestly, personally, I'm probably better with inverse value gaps. I mean, realistically, I still have a lot of room to grow with flow state. I've only been trading flow state for like 2 or 3 months, and I've been trading inverse value gaps for like a year. So you just have to like be realistic with yourself and say, if I want to have the best chance of success and being a profitable trader, am I going to be like, I want to do the model that I've already gotten funded with and I've already gotten payouts with. Now, I'm not against like a really good flow state, but I'm really trying to just stick to inverse value gaps. So, because you get what happened yesterday where like I had a flow state I thought was good, and there was a higher time frame flow state. We were going against the higher time frame flow state, going the opposite direction, and it's like, it's hard, man. It's hard because like I'm not perfect. I don't see everything, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, let's look at what's going on here. So this is inverse value up to the downside, but once again, data high above. What's up, marketing? How's it going? Good morning. Yeah, like once again, data high above. I don't really care for inversing to the downside. I'd rather just be careful and thoughtful and wait for us maybe to get inverse value gap back up to the data high later on. So I'm not going to take this inverse value gap just because, oh, we're on the wrong screen. Sorry. Okay, like I said, this could be an inverse value up to the downside. Do I want to take it though? No, I'm being careful because we got a giant data high above. I'm gonna be really thoughtful and just sit here and say, okay, I'd rather take a trade up to the data high. Personally, because also my bias is bullish, right? I already outlined this morning earlier. If you want to watch my daily bias, go watch the beginning of the live stream. But basically, I see us in a possible buy model off of the weekly breaker and the 4-hour change of state delivery. So, but yeah, we still have this data high above. We have a macro coming out in 10 minutes. Like I said, I'm trying to stick to inverse value gaps right now. I'm gonna be like really trying to make sure what the trades I take are high quality inverse value gaps, because after all, that's what's gotten me payouts. That's what's got me funded. I'm still I love flow state, but I'm still getting better with it. That's the reality of it, right? So yeah, let's move this macro up here. And yeah, now we're just gonna sit and wait. You know, it would be kind of cool if we came down, we swept out all these lows, and we got an inverse back up to the data high right around 10 a.m. That'd be pretty good. So we did end up getting this inversion here, and we closed below the volume imbalance, which is a good sign. We're probably gonna go to the lows, but once again, I'm not trading a short until I'm not trading a short. Like I'd rather wait for us to run back up to go to the data high right now. So I want to see us possibly sweep these lows into the fair value gap. Once again, could you imagine how good this trade would be if this wick wasn't here, if we just had this move lower and then move higher in this 3-minute inversion, that'd be really good. But that's not what happened, right? We wicked out above all these highs, so it's not actually that good. Whoa, 7 people watching. That's crazy. What's up, everyone? How are you guys? Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm going to try and be a different kind of trader than I used to be. I'm not going to be sitting here trying to predict everything, calling out every little piece of every model. I'm going to be watching and waiting for setups to come to me. So that's going to be something different than I'm going to be doing. And then also trying to make things consistent, going and live streaming from a set time to a set time every day. I'm going to try and make that a really, really consistent part of my routine. So if we did get this inversion, this could be nice. This is 9:45. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna take this. I'm just being prepared in case it's like all of a sudden it's just like wow. But I'm probably not gonna take it. I'm gonna be really thoughtful, right? And we might have SMT too. Seven times 27. Six times 27. Okay, if we get this, I might take it. Just kind of depends on how much momentum we have. We are going into 10 a.m., so... yeah.
Order filled.
Okay, let's go. Let's go break even at this high. And I think I need to put... yeah, we'll go break even at this high. So this is what I'm thinking, right? Not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay, break even here. And then I'm gonna TP at the data high. This is a one setup for life, so. Discord says I'm live on Twitch. That's so weird. Great. I'm gonna get stopped.
Order filled. Order filled.
I'm trying. It's hard. Yeah. I don't know. I think that was fine. I don't know. Not gonna lie, I think it was fine, but I'll journal it. So maybe I don't know. I'll ask Dodgy and see what he says. But See, now I know this is gonna work. Is the thing. That's the annoying thing. Is I know this next inversion is gonna work. This one's way better. Uh, this one's so much better, and I can't take it. This is so much better. This is stupid. I so badly want to break my rules, obviously, but I'm not going to, right? I'm just gonna say, you know what? I took a loss for the day. I should not have taken the trade. I shouldn't have taken the first trade. But hey, looks this one might lose. Looks like I don't know. It shouldn't lose. I don't think it should. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't know. That's weird. What's up? So I already took a trade. I took this inversion and this was a loss. So I can't trade anymore, and I think this one's way better. I think this one's a lot higher probability, and I wish I could take this. But I'm trying to stick to my rules right now, so I think this is a lot higher probability. I'm almost certain this is going to work, right? But whatever. And I don't know what's going on with my camera right now, but yeah. Anyway, you'd probably want to go break even at this high, honestly. You probably need to go break even at this high instead. So yeah, you go break even here. This is gonna work too. Once again, like, I'm not gonna break my rules. I'm not gonna go and take a trade after a loss just because I know it's gonna work. I shouldn't have taken the first one, but then again, I thought the first one was fine, so it just sucks. It just sucks. Okay, I think, you know what? The camera's not working, and I don't want to restart the stream, but I bet you this is going to work. So I'm probably going to end it here. It's just a little annoying because I genuinely, like, I don't know, like, I could have waited for the second one. I probably should have, but it's hard. It's hard to know that, like, hey, there's going to be a second one that's going to be better than the first one. It's hard to know that, right? Okay. Alright. Until tomorrow, I'll try and get in the mindset of, like, you know what, if the first one, I don't even know, like, that, I felt like the first one was fine, but the second one's obviously better, so. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here. I will talk to you guys later.